It's another math day here with teacher Jenny. Join me for another topic. This time we're going to talk about how to solve quadratic inequalities in a more quicker manner. So let's go for the first example. So we need to solve the inequality here. We have x squared minus 1 less than 0. Now for you to solve this one, we need our theorem, in which you have there if a and b are real numbers with a is less than b, the solution set of your inequality will be as follows. So when you have here greater than as the symbol, that means to say our solution set will be following the format that x is less than a or x is greater than b. And if you have here less than symbol, you will be following the format for writing your solution as your x greater than a but less than b. So let's go for this one. So we can factor this out using difference of two perfect square binomials, because your x squared is perfect square. Your 1 is a perfect square. So we can factor it out using x minus 1 times x plus 1. And then this is less than 0. Now, once we solve for our x, we know that our x here is gonna be equal to 1 once we try to equate that 1 to 0. But we will not be doing that one. Instead, we will be getting our a and b right away. So here, since if we follow this format, we have here x minus a, and that will be x minus b, that will be less than 0. So again, if we try to rewrite this one, you will have that one as x minus 1, and then you have here as x minus negative 1. So again, your a and b here will be as follows. We have 1 here, and then we have negative 1 in here. So this will be negative 1. So our a here will be our negative 1 because your a must be less than b according to this one. And you have your b here. So again, in writing your solution, we will be basing that one on your a and b in this format. This is now less than. So automatic, your x will be in between the two values and your sign will be less than. And also with this one should be also less than. So this will be easier for you to realize that one because you will be following this symbol. And again, we'll be writing here on the left side of your x will be a. So our a is negative 1 and our b is positive 1. So this will be now our solution, that your x, or the set of your x such that your x is greater than negative 1 but less than 1. So this is now our solution. Now let's practice more. Now here we are going to have this one. Let's try this out. We have x squared minus 13x plus 36 greater than 0. Greater than or equal to 0. Now, since this is greater than or equal to 0, according to the theorem there, if that will be greater than or equal to, we will be following this format in which you have there x such that, or the set of x such that x will be less than. But since there is an equal to here, we have to copy the equal symbol there as well. So we have x less than or equal to a, or x is greater than or equal to b. So this is now our format for the solution when we have greater than. So this is really easier for you to remember, because when you say less than or equal to, every symbol there will be less than for the solution. But if that is greater than, then you will have different symbols there for your solution. So it must be that your b is greater than, b, since b here, according to our condition there, that a is greater than b, it should be that the first one that appears here will be your a, and you have your symbol as less than or equal to, and then you have your b. The symbol for that one should be greater than or equal to. Okay? So let's have this one here. Now, please do not be confused because other teachers are using only this symbol here without your symbol for the set. This one here, the curly bracket. Without that one, that is also the same. So let's now go for x squared minus 13x plus 36 greater than or equal to 0. So here we are to factor out. Now for factoring, we have 36 here. So we are to look for factors on 36. And also we are going to find the sum of the factors. Because again, this is not a perfect square trinomial, because if you get your 36, the square root of that one, that will be 6. And multiplying that by 2, that will be 12. But this is 13. So this is not a perfect square trinomial. Now, what to do is for you to do the trial and error, taking into consideration the middle term here, which is negative 13x. So possible that the sum here will be with negative 13. So looking for factors, we are now broken down into the possible factors that your bigger number is negative. I mean, your two numbers are negative because of positive 36. And your sum there is negative 13. So looking for your factors, we start with 1. And then we have our 36. And again, this should be negative and negative because our sum there is negative. So negative 1 plus negative 36, that will be negative 37. We go to the next one. We go for negative 2, and then we have our 18. That's also negative. Next, we add, this is now negative 20. And then we look for another one because this is not the number that we are looking for. It should be negative 13. So next, we have negative 3 for the other factor, and the other one is negative 12. So adding that up, this is negative 15. Since that is not the one that we're looking for, so we move to another number, and this time this is now negative 4, and the partner of that one is negative 9. Adding that one, that is equal to negative 13. So there you go with your factors. So we are now writing our factors by simply attaching that one to your x. We have negative 4 and then x minus 9. That will be greater than or equal to 0. Again, we have x minus 4 times x minus 9. So we are now with the format a while ago based on our theorem that your x minus a, if these are your factors, x minus b, that is greater than or equal to 0, then our solution set will be this one. So since we have minus and minus here, that is automatically we have our a as 4 and our b as 9. Because 4 and 9, comparing that one, 4 is smaller than your 9, so 4 gets the a. So following our format, so we have our solution here as the set of x such that your x is less than or equal to your a, which is 4, or x will be greater than or equal to your b, which is 9. So there you go. Or you may write it as x less than or equal to 4 or x greater than or equal to 9. So that is how we solve for our inequality. So let's now move on to the next example. So this time we have x squared minus 36 less than or equal to 0. So again, we factor out our x squared minus 36. That is the difference of two perfect square binomials. So we have here x plus 6 and x minus 6. So this is now your these are now your factors on x squared minus 36 less than or equal to 0. So looking at the format, it should be that this should be minus. So you will have there x minus negative 6 And this one will be x minus 6. That's less than or equal to 0. Now, we have our a here as your smallest number based on the numbers here. So, comparing that one, negative 6 and 6, smaller number is negative 6. And then we have our b as your 6. Okay? Now, we go for writing the solution right away. So, since this is less than or equal to, our solution set will be the set of x such that your x will be in the middle because that's less than or equal to. So, let me erase that one first. So, again, if your inequality is less than, you will have your x variable in the middle, and your sign will also be the same as this one. That's less than, but this should be equal. So less than or equal to. And then your a here will be negative 6. And then you will have there the less than or equal to symbol again. And your b will be 6. There you go for the solution of your inequality. You can try to check that out by simply getting values that satisfy this condition here on the solution set and try to plug that in and check whether this statement here will be true. So next, we go for the next inequality. So we have here x squared minus 5x minus 6. Again, we need to factor it out. We have negative 6 that we need to look for on our factors. And then we are going to get the sum. The sum here will be reflecting our negative 5. So since this is negative, so what we are expecting on our factors will be negative, positive, positive, negative. So we can break it down by simply considering that this should be negative 5. And once you're adding your factors, it should be that the bigger factor will get the negative sign. So knowing that one, we have our first factor as positive 1 and negative 6. Adding that one, that will be equal to negative 5. So we follow this one. So we have here x plus 1 and x minus 6. That will be less than 0. Next, we go for following the format in which you have there x minus a times x minus b. That will be less than 0. So since this one is minus, so we will be changing the sign here to minus. So we have here x minus, and of course, this will be negative 1. And this one, we need to retain that one, and that's less than 0. So we have our a and b, so determining our a and b here, because we will be following our format based on a and b. So we have our a will be the smaller number. Comparing that one, we have negative 1 here. We have 6. So that means our a is negative 1. So we have this equal to negative 1. B is equal to 6. Writing the solution set, we have our set such that set of x such that your x there must be less than. Again, that's less than, right? So, let me just redo. This should be in the middle. Your x there should be in the middle because this is less than. So, x, and then you have your less than symbol. And then you have your a here. This is negative 1. And you've got your 6 here. So, there you go. So, let's go for more practice. So, let's have this one here. And again, we're factoring that one. So, based on 36. So we look for the factors and we look for the sum. So again, we're considering the sum with positive 15 as the result. And this is positive 36. Now to get a positive result when adding, your factors must be all positive. So we start with 1 and 36. Adding that 1, that will be 37. We go for 2 and 18. Adding that 1, that will be 20. And then we go for 3 and 12. Adding that 1 will be 15. So there you go with your factors. We can factor this out. X plus 3 times x plus 12. And this is less than or equal to 0. Again, we will be stating this one so that you will have difference of your factors. So we will have here x minus, this is negative 3. And then we have on the other factor x minus, and then we have negative 12. That will be less than or equal to 0. So here, we have now our a based on those numbers. We have negative 3 and negative 12. Comparing that one, negative 12 is smaller than your negative 3. So b here is negative 3. And again, writing your set here, we have set of x such that your x there, since this is less than or equal to, it should be in between the two values, your a and b. So we have also the same symbol here. We have less than or equal to. Your a there will be negative 12. And you have also less than or equal to symbol here. And then you've got the b, which is, sorry, that should be negative 3. So there you go. Next, we go for this given. So we have x squared plus 4x minus 5 greater than 0. This is now greater than, so we will have opposing signs in here. So we go for factoring this out. So again, we're looking for negative 5 on the factors. Considering our middle number here, we have the sum for that one, which is positive 4. So looking for the factors, we know for the fact that we are expecting a positive result on the sum. So automatic, your bigger factor must be positive. So we have negative 1 and positive 5. That's adding that one, that will give off positive 5. So automatically, this is our part of the factor. So we have here x minus 1 times x plus 5. That will be greater than 0. Again, writing this one into the difference of factors. So we'll have here x minus 1. We change this one to minus. So we have x. And then we have minus negative 5. So let me erase this. So we have x minus negative 5 for that one. And then we have greater than greater than 0. So again, we will be comparing. This one is 1. This one is negative 5. So smaller number goes to a. That is negative 5. Bigger number goes to b. That is 1. So writing the solution set, this will be now x or set of x such that that's greater than. So that means to say x here will be less than your negative 5, which is your a, or you have there x is greater than 1. So there you go with your solution set. So let's have one more number to practice. Let's have this one here. So notice your x squared is on the other side, so you have to transfer that out there. So 4x squared minus x squared minus 6x minus 9, that's greater than 0. So here we have 4x squared minus x squared, that's 3x squared, minus 6x minus 9, greater than 0. We extract the common out. So we have here dividing each of this one with with 3. So that makes it x squared minus 2x minus 3. That will be greater than 0. So next, we are now going to factor it out. So considering negative 3, looking for factors, and then we have to also look for the sum of the factors in which that will be showing negative 2. So since that's negative 2 on the sum, that means to say bigger number will get the negative sign. So we have positive 1 times negative 3. Adding that one will be equal to negative 2. So automatically, this is our part of the factor. So we have here x plus 1 times x minus 3. That will be greater than 0. Again, writing that one in the format wherein you've got difference of binomials. So we have here x. Not difference of binomials, but difference on the factors of your factors. So let's now move on. Sorry. So we have here x. From x here plus 1, we will now be transforming that one as x minus negative 1. Okay. Now, next one, we are going to copy our x minus 3. That will be greater than 0. Next is, we will be comparing this number here. This is negative 1 and this is positive 3. Negative 1 is smaller than positive 3, so A will get the negative 1. Our B will be positive 3. So, writing the solution set, since this is greater than, that means to say we don't have the same inequality symbol. So, your set of x such that your x here will be less than your A, which is negative 1, or x is greater than your 3. So, there you go with the solution set. So, I hope you were able to learn something new from me today. So, I hope you can find this one easier than the traditional one in which you will be locating your number, drawing your number line and then trying to test out on the different regions of your number line. Okay, so that's it. So this is again your teacher Jenny and wishing you good luck in every challenges that might come in your way. So again, if you like this video, you kindly share, like, and subscribe. See ya!